Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie is going away with £16,000.
My £16,000 recently arrived into my bank account. I'd show you on screen, but I'm afraid that some lawyer or some hacker out there is going to see it and cause me problems, so you'll have to take my word for it. But yeah, TV shows are real, prize monies are real, it's all real. And as someone who's been on a TV show, I would recommend it to anyone, purely for the experience alone. They pay for your transport, they pay for your hotel, and they basically treat you like a celebrity for the day, like giving you a tour around the studio, offering you free refreshments, free drinks, free meals, and of course, you get to participate in your favourite TV show. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to be on TV, take my advice and just go for it, apply. And to give people a better chance at making it onto their favourite TV show, I thought I'd offer a few tips people can use to boost their application and maximise their chances of getting picked. Any views and any advice I provide in this video are purely my own from my experience of being through an application from start to finish. And straight off the bat, the first piece of advice I'll offer is apply. Actually go on their website and start your application. The application forms for TV shows are usually very long and have a lot of questions, and this usually puts a lot of people off from applying, but that's intentional. The casting team only want the most enthusiastic and the keenest people applying, because they don't have time to look through all these applications. So if you happen to be someone who really wants to be on your TV show, but you don't apply because you find the application form too long, you're missing out. Especially if you're young, since the main demographic of people applying are the slightly elder, retired people, and the only way you're going to find out if you're good enough is if you apply. So once you've started your application, my second piece of advice would be to make your application as unique as possible. Notice how I said unique, not the best or the smartest, the most unique. By this, what I mean is that you want your application to be as different as possible to everybody else's, because what this will do is it will make your application memorable. There are going to be thousands of applicants who are very smart, or very funny, or very talented, and if you boast yourself as someone who's very smart or very talented, your application is going to get lost amongst everybody else's. And if anything, out of all those applicants, there's going to be loads of people who are more talented or more smarter than you. That's just how it is. Instead, the better thing to do is boast about the most unique things about you, or the most unique things you've done. I, for example, talked about how I wrote a weekly quiz for my office, with questions ranging from which landmark is the most visited in London, to which country has the most vending machines per person. I also mentioned how I was really into virtual reality, and how one of my hobbies was working out by playing VR games. I mentioned how I visited the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire playset in Disneyland, California, back when I was a child, and how I promised my parents that I would make it into the hot seat one day. All of those things weren't impressive, but they were interesting and unique, and it made the casting team want to find out more about me. My thing about the office quiz even made it into the final show.
You do trivia quizzes, though, for the people
I do.
That work.
So have a good think about the most interesting things about you that are unique, and mention those as much as possible. Next piece of advice is to always attach a photo or a video of yourself. A lot of people don't like sending photos of themselves to strangers, but for TV shows it's very important that you let the casting team know what you look like, since again this makes you more memorable, and it also lets the casting team see you as a human being rather than just a piece of paper with some writing on it. And try to use the best, happiest photo you have. This is the first impression you're going to make with the casting team, and you want to make sure you come across as someone who's bright and fun to work with. Sooner or later, people are going to see your face on TV anyway, so there's no point in hiding your face now. Which brings me to my next point, the face-to-face interview. Almost every single TV show will involve an interview, either via the phone or via Skype, or in real life, sitting face-to-face. This is the stage that will make or break your application. This is basically your only chance to show the casting team how presentable you are on TV, how confident you will be, and how entertaining you will be in front of a camera. To use the show I was on as an example, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a quiz show where supposedly they might want the smartest people in the world to answer their questions. So you'd think that the casting team would pick the most intelligent and smartest applicants, but they don't. How do I know? Because I made it onto the show, and I am by no means one of the smartest people in the world. In the end, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a TV show, so all they really want is people above a certain knowledge level, but what they're mainly looking for is people who are entertaining enough to attract a lot of viewers and boost their viewership figures for the show. So during your interview, it's more important to focus on your personality than on your skill. You're applying for a TV show, not a job. And after you make it through all these application stages and interviews, you'll be told you'll have to wait a bit until they get back to you with their decision. There isn't much you can really do at this stage other than to just wait. But there is one important thing you can do, which many people skip. Send reminder emails. During the course of your application, you might find yourself waiting a few weeks or a few months, not having heard back from them. And a good thing you can do is to send a chaser email, just to see how they're progressing with your application, or when you can expect to hear back from them. They might not have an answer for you, but that's okay. The main purpose of a reminder email is to remind the person about you and your application. Remember what I said about being memorable? If the casting team sees your name pop up multiple times, they're going to remember you a lot better. Obviously don't email them too much or email them too quickly, since that will just annoy them. But an occasional email after a reasonable amount of time won't do you any harm. I'd say something like 3 weeks is a good time to wait before sending a reminder email. And after all of that, hopefully you've made it onto your TV show. My advice at this point would be just to enjoy it and make the most out of it you can. Being on TV is a very special experience, and have fun. Make the most of it by walking around the studio, taking selfies in front of the building, whatever floats your boat. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'll end it here. If anyone has any questions that I didn't cover, or any questions of their own, do let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If anyone has any advice of their own regarding what to do and what not to do, please let us know. I'd be very interested to know as well. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you on TV.